Did I make it? I almost made it. I give myself like one chance, you know, to get right to that right moment. How's it going, everybody? How's it going?
Hey, everybody.
You know this fella? You know this guy? I think so.
Should I
I
introduce
think everybody
myself?
recognizes
I
you.
don't know.
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead. Introduce
so
yourself.
I'm Quindo from Intermittent Technology, or also known from QuinLED.info, and I'm the creator of the QuinLED boards.
Thanks for being here, Quindor.
Sure.
Thanks for being here. All right, so Quindor Holland, here we go. All right, Miguel's here. I'm going to go through the roll call. Who do we got? Number 1 was 4 tracks. Way to go. Got your QuinLED boards? Thanks. Awesome. I've got, I've put a bunch of them in the mail, and I've got a pile of them here that are going to go out tomorrow. So we're cruising on QuinLED boards. It's going to be a good holiday season for a lot of people. All right. How's everybody going? Man, it feels good to be back. It feels so good to be back. It's been like way too long since I had a stream. So thanks for being here, everybody. All right, we even got a new subscriber right away. We're just going to go ahead and play some of this. It's been so long. I'm sure everybody's Twitch subscriptions have lapsed. So if you want to go log into Twitch and renew that, I won't stop you. Oh man, big fan of the QuinLED boards. Also from Holland. Everybody's from Holland. It's awesome.
Nice.
Wait, Holland, is that the Netherlands? That's not the same thing?
Hey, no motivation
with my
to solder
geography.
my quads until useful firmware for it. We might have news.
Oh.
We might have some news for you.
Well. It just so happens you're in the right place.
Exactly.
So, did everybody read the title? Did you read the title of the stream? Because here is what has gone down. So let me go. We're gonna just jump right in here. So here's what's gone down. So Quindor has been designing LED boards for a long time, and it was about a year ago, right, that you did the DrZzs?
Yeah, actually,
I think it was about last summer.
It was in the same month a year ago. So it was.
Is that right?
I guess it takes me about a year to design and test and bring out a board.
Good things take time. So about a year ago, Quindor came up with the DrZzs, which is actually this one right here. And it's been great. And then it's probably been about 6 months ago that you started pre-assembled DrZzs, which opened it up to even more people to be able to get them. Because at the beginning, it was a very DIY, buy the parts, build it yourself, which is great. It's not too hard. We've done it on the stream a couple times. But they are available now if you don't like soldering. And they run WLED beautifully, right?
Yeah.
WLED, actually, I think I discovered WLED thanks to finally listening to some people who have been trying to tell me for a long time. But I discovered WLED like last maybe October or something.
Yep.
And so we found this perfect fit. WLED, DrZzs, beautiful, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Quindor, in his never-ending quest for LED control dominance in the universe, has continued to push the boundaries of LED control boards. And he came up with this one. This is the LED Dig Quad.
Yes.
The Dig Quad. So tell us a second about the LED Dig Quad.
So you can open the Dig Quad info page. Or I'm behind, maybe you did. So instead of a single channel board, it's now a 4-channel board. And the main focuses for the board were adding, 4 output channels, more power handling, so it can handle up to 30 amps continuous with 50 amp peak load, etc. And it has 5 output fuses with 7 output terminals for power. So if your LED projects get bigger, you need to do power injection. And what these boards allow you, instead of having 1 positive and 1 negative terminal, you have 7 positive and 7 negative terminals divided over the 5 fuses, so you can do your power injection runs much easier and safe.
Awesome. So I'm trying to deal with the video delay. I thought we fixed the video delay, but it didn't apparently fix it as well as I had hoped. But okay. I don't want that to distract from the message that you just gave us, which is basically that there's now a digital LED control board that can run best with an ESP32, correct?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
if you tried to run 4 outputs from an 8266, like the old D1 Mini or something, I don't know that it would work very well.
I don't know either. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I mean, I guess we could try it for
If
completeness
you
sake,
just
but
want to
it
use
wouldn't
the
work.
board for power distribution and fusing, you can use an ESP8266 and just the LED one channel will work. But if you want to do more advanced functions like audio, reactive, or do the 4 outputs, I just really recommend an ESP32.
Yeah. So now this board takes advantage of the ESP32 and lets you have 4 outputs, right?
Yes.
Before we do
Yes.
the next things, before we do the next part, because this is the big part, I want to fix this audio problem. So let me try this again. Okay.
Okay. Am
And
I
I don't.
delayed or?
Yeah, you are. And we had
Oh, okay.
so well synced a minute ago, and then apparently it didn't stick or something.
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, I guess. And now it's not letting me. All right. Well, my favorite DIY tech YouTubers together, Quindor. Is Quindor's volume need volume up or down? I couldn't read the rest of the message. Quindor, up the volume, please. I can up Quindor's volume. Okay. Oh, Quindor's volume.
We'll get this right. Don't worry.
My audio, my advanced audio settings are not opening. There it is. Golly, my computer is like struggling. Okay. So, let's see. Is it live? Okay, good.
Yeah, so you can mention that later on.
Okay. Still not really working. This delay is not.
The delay is too long, too short. I don't know. I can't really tell what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm trying to delay the audio by a bunch. Let's see if that's better.
Okay. So, but the audio.
No, I think we're getting it.
Yeah, the audio should be delayed slightly. Yeah.
Made it worse. We did this whole fancy clapping test and everything. We thought we were all professional. Yeah, keep talking because I'm trying to sync it and it seems to be.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I know Emil Bart ordered some PCBs for the Dig Quad, I believe, too.
I'm trying to slow down the audio here by more. I think maybe what happened is my. Okay, sing us a song or something. Let's try. Nope, still no good. Dang. Nope. Yes, this is great. This is great. I'm gonna try it one more time, and if I can't get it to stick, I don't know why. Like I've delayed the audio by a ton, and it's just not sticking. I'm listening while driving. Okay, so Paul's like, I don't even care about the video audio sync because I'm in the car. Well, thanks for tuning in, Paul. Eyes on the road. Okay, as soon as this audio setting gets back up, then we'll get it. Too long. Stream makes you rusty. I know, right? That's the truth. That's the truth. Milano Rico, that's right. That's the problem here is I'm rusty on my streaming. That's right. That's right. That's right. No, and then now my computer is just like lagging. It's so struggling right now. Yeah. And there's nothing else I can turn off. I click the settings. I turned it off. I turned it off on purpose. Hey, Frank! Frank's here. Still no audio. No audio? You don't hear QuinDOR at all? That's probably because I delayed it by so much. I'm trying right now. I can't. It won't even open the settings. Like I just keep clicking the settings. We're gonna get this fixed. We're gonna get this fixed. Yay! Yay! At some point. I just figure if I keep clicking it, it'll open. No QuinDOR, even though he is talking. Yeah. It's just every time. Let me see if I can. It's my advanced settings here. Let me show you. We're gonna go here. So when I click on this guy, it just doesn't come up. It just now that my audio settings are just not becoming available now. Dang it. It does kind of suck. I guess what we did so well. We were trying to fine tune and yeah, fail button. Fail button is right. Maybe in a minute it'll come up. I guess what we could do, we could also Mr. Fat has no delay. Well, but do you have audio for QuinDOR? I can. No, I don't think there's a pop-up screen back there. No, there's nothing else up. Well, I'll tell you what I can do. Get in the DeLorean and come back from the past. Gotcha. Here's what we're going to do. What if we... dang it. I don't want to kill the video, but maybe we need to kill the video. Bring it back. Your stream feed, yeah. Disable your source. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Restart the PC. Gosh, man, OBS is just struggling. Yeah. I can't get the advanced audio settings to come back up. So you're still not hearing. No audio for QuinDOR. QuinDOR is vaporized. Restart helps. Yeah, I don't want to stop the stream. Okay. Man. Maybe there's another place. Is there another place that I can get into the advanced audio settings? Doesn't look like it. Poor QuinDOR. I can hear him. I'll tell you what we can try. Let's try this. Let's try something else here. Let's go. We're going to add audio. Okay, we're almost there. Yep. And then we'll go back to this short delay that we had, which wasn't too bad. Uh-oh. Don't cough. Gosh, now when I click... Now I can't even add you back. When I click add a source, it says nothing's coming up. All right, here's what... Okay, we're going to get you this way. We're going to try... Man, we messed up bad. I messed up bad. We didn't do anything. Just me. Okay. Oh, I got the source. I got the source window back. Okay. NDI source. Source. New source. I think I need a computer upgrade. That's what I
Be slightly overloaded.
need. Yeah, I think it is. Definitely good.
Well, if
Now
you want
you're
to talk.
taking over the whole screen.
Ah, nice. Hello.
Okay.
Well, if you want to talk computer specs sometime, let me know. I can help you with that.
I need some. This one's about 6 years old. This computer,
Oh,
which is like ancient
yeah,
history,
and
you know.
streaming and multiple sources. That can be. Oh, hey, I'm hearing myself.
Yay! We got your audio
So yeah,
back.
I'm full screen.
Now we're just gonna add a filter. There you go. Now we're back in business. Okay. Are we ready yet? Sing us a song. And we're not going to touch the audio
No,
delay.
don't touch the delay. Just maybe green screen it a little bit, and that's it.
Okay. Green screen is on. Audio delay
Nice.
is ready. Now.
Okay.
Now.
Back to business.
Back to business. So now we've got the link, you say?
Yeah. So we were talking about the Dig quad board. Let me get one without a lot of green in it. And so it has 4 digital outputs. Now we've been talking to Air Cookie. Air Cookie is in the chat too. He's the initiator and the creator of WLED, and it's on the roadmap to get multi-channel output, so you can use actually the 4 channels that are on the board, but it's not there yet. But someone else, and I forget his name,
Penguin. Peaceful Penguin.
Yeah, Peace Penguin and some other guys who were working on an issue in the GitHub to try and get multi-output working, actually got it working. And so we're calling this, or we were calling this pre-alpha or something.
Pre-alpha. We're calling it pre-alpha.
Yes. Yeah, so this is very, very hacked together alpha whatever, but it's working. And it's actually working quite well. I've been running it all night, and DrZzs has been running it all night, and it's stable. And now we can hook up an LED strip to all 4 outputs and run separate effects on those in WLED. It's amazing.
I've got it set up here, and I know Quindor has it in his background over there as well. So I've got it set up here for a little demo. You ready for some demo-ness? Okay. Let's see. Okay. So here it is. Oh, you got to be able to see both. So I'm going to turn that off for a second just to show you. Okay, so this is this pre-alpha version of WLED. And it requires some changing in some of the, the files, the pre-compiled stuff, right? So, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to the binary part in a minute. Anyways, it's been modified. It's WLED, the latest version, 10.2, but it's been modified so that you can have multiple strips from these different channels. Here's what it ends up doing. Let's just go ahead and turn it on. And I'll show you.
Them.
Okay. So we have here one strip running one effect, a different strip running a different effect, a third strip running a third effect, and then these little pixel things, just because I wanted to find something that was different, running a fourth different effect. And I can go here to my segments, and I can change what effect it's running. So when I highlight this, I can change the effect. Let's take it to something that is pretty clearly different. Now we go back here, and you can see just this one changed. Yep. And I can unclick this one, and I can click on this segment, and then I can change that one to something as well. We'll go back here so you can watch it change live there, right over Quindor's head. Okay. So what I've got here is each of these segments is a different strip of the LEDs, or basically a different channel coming off of the Dig quad. and it works. It works
Yeah.
really well. It works really well. So when
So now
QuinDOR,
you can control 4 LED strips doing something else or doing the same thing, actually, whatever you want, from one controller.
if you want them to all do the same thing, you just select all the segments and then pick the thing you want them all to do. And now they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah, I have a setup as DrZzs mentioned in my room, and with 4 strips. If you've seen my videos, you might have seen it in the background with 4 strips going like that, and it's really mesmerizing, like the palette effect going exactly in sync out of 4 LED strips. It's really interesting.
And you see, I'm turning some of them off, and others are still going. So somebody says, how do we get this firmware?
Okay, yes. So you can share the link, or I can share the link.
Share it
We can
again.
both.
Share it again because now it's buried back in what we've been chatting about a
I
little bit.
think it's this one. Hold on, chat. There we go.
Sure.
So this is kind of hacked together, is the best way to describe it. Official support is still coming somewhere this year. It's on the roadmap, and they are going to work on it. And there are some caveats right now. So, for instance, it's only for RGB strip, not RGBW, as far as I understand it. And if you're using segments, which we need to use, and I'll explain that in a minute, you only have one preset slot. So you can only save it to slot 16, which will save the separate segments. But all the other preset slots don't save segments. So yeah, each time you reboot WLED, it will treat it as one big LED strip. So the way this binary works and this mod works, you actually have to compile this yourself and then set the amount of LEDs you have per channel. Now, we prepared a binary which has it set to 300 LEDs per channel. So then what you do is you install that binary on a dig quad. It has all the right GPIOs and stuff like that configured. And then once WLED boots, you go into the LED preferences and you set it to 1200 LEDs, which is 4 times 300. And even if you don't have those connected, that's fine. They should all turn orange. And then you start making segments of the amount of LEDs you actually have connected. And that way you can make the segments and set effects to those segments for each LED strip. So initially it just treats it like one 1200 long LED strip, but mixing it with the segment feature makes it work beautifully.
So here's that's a perfect explanation. So
Yeah,
here's how you do that when you load it. So I'll walk through the menus. I was kind of pointing at it while you were talking about it too, but we're gonna have to repeat it a few times. So when you do load this new binary onto the new or the ESP32 chip, somebody asked, are they going to come with this firmware? No, they're not.
no,
In a few months from now, when the or at whatever point that the official WLED
yeah,
release includes this, then yeah, that will be part of the new ones as they get shipped out. But I would not expect that to happen for 4 months, 6 months, something like that.
yeah,
But if
yeah,
you have a dig quad, you build a dig quad, you want to run this, you can download that binary from that page that QuinDOR just linked, and then you just pop your ESP32 off, plug it into your computer, and
yep,
upload the new binary. It's not hard.
easy, easy.
You can do it very easy. You don't need to do any fancy programming or anything funky. Once you do that, when you get your WLED control panel here, the things you need to do, the steps you need to do, you need to go to LED preferences, and you set this LED count to 1200. If you're going to use the binary where each channel is giving 300, you set this to 1200. Okay. Another thing that we realized was probably important is to disable this brightness limiter, right? Because
Yes,
it's going to think that you're actually going to light up 1200 LEDs, which you hopefully aren't actually. You probably could, but if you do, you're going to have to be the safety valve. So you're going to have to understand how much current that's going to be and what you're going to do with your wires and things like that. This does have fuses, right? The DigQuad has fuses, so
Yes.
it won't let you burn anything down.
Physically, you're protected. No worries.
Yeah. So it won't let you burn anything down. But if you leave this limiter on, you might get some dimming that you don't want, right? You might make it dimmer than it needs to be. So I turned it off.
Yeah.
So that was that part. The next part is using segments. And
so let me interrupt real quick.
Please.
So you can set it to the exact amount of LEDs you have connected, and then you could use the limiter if you wanted to, but then you have to compile the binaries yourself. And I'll add the GitHub to the page I'm making for this, so you can compile it yourself. It's just a normal WLED compile, and then you just add in the code like LED 1 has 70 LEDs, LED 2 has 180, and then you can compile it with the right amounts. But if you don't want to compile, this is kind of a workaround for that. So that's why we say we have 300 per channel and 1200 in total.
Yeah, we can show that too. I can show that file and where you would change those things. But
sure,
but for me, and I think for a lot of us, that compiling opens up a whole new opportunity for a lot of errors. And if you do it all the time and you're good with it, then no problem, right? You can do it, and then you could set each of these channels exactly the way you want them for your LED strips, and that would be ideal and best. But for if you don't want to do that, this is actually a pretty decent option. So how do you do it? When you go to set up segments, I've already got these segments set up, but I'll show you how you do it, right? So you add the segment and the start LED. So this first segment is going to be the strip that's connected to LED pin 1. So on the DigQuad, there's 4 LED pins, and they're just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Segment 0 is what's connected to LED pin 1. So in my case, I have this big strip with the real dense LEDs here, and there are 144 of them. So I set the segment to start at 0 and to go to 144. And then I hit the checkbox, and that segment is set up. Then I would hit add another segment, and that would be segment number 1. This would be the strip that's connected to LED pin number 2. And in my case, I've got this strip connected to that one. Oh, actually, no, it's this one. It's this strip. It's 30 LEDs. So this one has 30. So I start at number 300. Remember, because we just basically assigned 300 to each channel. So this one starts at number 300, and it goes to 330. And that will just be that one strip. Okay, check mark to save that, and moving on to the next one. The next one starts at 600, and because it has 60 LEDs, in my case, it goes to 660. Check mark, move to the last one. In my case, the last one has 50, and it's going to start at 900, and it will end at 950. Check mark and done. Now, what I would recommend, and what I kept doing last night, is every time I messed with my segments, I would go over here to saving mode and save them.
Yeah,
okay?
To slot 16. Yeah.
Save it to slot 16, because if you don't save it and your board reboots or something, these segments won't be preserved. If you haven't saved them in slot 16, they won't be preserved. So make sure once you set up the segments with the right number of LEDs that you want, save it to segment 16 or to number 16 so that you don't lose it and have to do it over again.
Yep.
All right. And then it's just like I showed you. In each segment, you can turn on or turn off each segment. You can change the effect of each segment with when you have the check mark on it that's controlling that segment. So if you want to control one of them or multiples, you put those check marks on and you pick the effect that you want those to show. When you do first turn on a segment, the intensity and the speed will be all the way down to 0. So it might look like it's not working. So you have to adjust the time, the speed and the intensity for each of the segments after segment 0. I think segment 0, it was, in the middle, but for each additional segment, the default starts out at 0 for both of those things. Yeah. So it might look funny, might look like it's not working.
That's definitely why this is a bit of an alpha hack.
but for being alpha, we mostly called it we called it pre-alpha last night when we were playing with it, because we hadn't even talked to Air Cookie yet or anything, and so we were like, well, before we do this or before we say anything, we're going to make sure that everybody understands that this is not official. So pre-alpha seemed to be as far from official as we could get.
Exactly.
But then now you've got free reign for four different segments, four different strips of LEDs. And because this is a dig quad, this is boosted logic. So I've got my LED strips right next to this, but this could be feet, 20, 30, 50 feet away.
Oh yeah.
And you would have no problem with the data signal getting there nice and clear.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So if you have a central location where you can run or want to run multiple LED strips, especially like on your house or whatever, it's all there. You have enough power terminals, you have a fuse protection, you have multiple output channels. So in the end, this will also solve the issue. I get a lot of questions like, hey, I want to run 30, 40 meters of LEDs. Well, if you do that on a single channel, if you're up at like 1,000 LEDs, you're only getting 30 frames per second. And if you go beyond that, it actually slows down. But with multiple output channels, which could then be used as a single segment or multiple segments, if you want, you could address a lot more LEDs using a single controller and board.
Yeah. So a couple questions, and you guys are asking great questions. I'm sorry I've been ignoring them. I know Quindor's been typing some stuff in there. We're so grateful to have Eric Cookie here answering questions as well.
Yeah.
So Gary's brought up a question that we asked right away, and Eric Cookie's answering it about E131.
Yes. Well, maybe we can do that live on the stream. What do you think?
You want to try it now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because the thing we did with the segments, we should be able to do in X-Lights too, right?
We should. Okay, let's try it.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Let's try it. We'll answer. There was another question I wanted to answer too. Albert says, what if you have a segment with more than 300? We tried. How many did you try? You tried like...
Yeah, so the current limit in WLED is 1,500 LEDs in total. And if you custom compile it, you can divide those into the segments you need to. But we just did a 300, 300, 300, 300, and then use the segments to say what is actually attached to it. But if you wanted to do a 500, 100, 300, 200, you can do that, but you'll have to custom compile it.
That's right. So yes, absolutely, you can do it, but you will have to custom compile it. Before we do the X-Lights thing, I want to show that compiling file. We can. Sure. Let's go to the where the instructions are from Penguin. Do you want to find that, Quindor, and post that link real quick? That'll save me. Just find that Peaceful Penguin GitHub and
I
post it because he's got the instructions there. Okay.
I had a dropped connection real quick.
This
is the GitHub. I posted in the chat for the multi-output WLED.
Okay, perfect. Great. So you got a little page for it too. Great. So Peace Penguin there, he has the instructions for what you have to do if you want to modify this yourself. Basically, you go to this wrapper file, which is part of everything that goes into WLED, and you have to set a few things. First, you have to set the number of strips you're going to have. So because the dig quad has 4, you can do 4. You don't have to do 4, but you can do 4. Okay. So you change that number there. The pins that you're going to have it connected to are these pins. Is that correct, Quindor? 16, 3, 1, and 26?
Yeah, it's I have a pinout guide on my website, and they're in there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I had that page pulled up because when I was playing with this yesterday too. And then down here, you can see that he's got it set up so you could use 8 pins. Now the dig quad board doesn't have 8 outputs, but if you were doing this your own custom thing, you could do up to 8 with this code. But for the dig quad, you only need to do the first 4. And then here to answer I don't remember whose question it was, Albert's question. This is where you would say, oh, my first string has 350 lights. My next one has 500 lights. The next one has 50. And as long as this grand total doesn't exceed 1,500, you can put in here whatever you want. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
but in in total, I don't think you can exceed 1500 in total right now.
Right.
So
Right. So you can't, the total of all these can't exceed 1500, but if you wanted to balance it differently and not just have 300 in each one, you could go in and do it yourself. But if you want the simple method and you have less than 300, then Quindor's got the binary already ready for you. Okay.
yeah, that's just an easy way of saying like, okay, I have 300, 300, 300, 300, and then with the segments, you set it to what you actually have.
Yeah. And that's it. And then, so you save this and then you compile it and you make your own binary and you upload it yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how that works. That's what you have to change is this npv wrapper.h file. You change those three things and that's it. You're good. Okay. Now, X-Lights makes me nervous. This makes me nervous. This makes me nervous. Okay. Let's, we're going to have to come up with a new controller. So let's go new controller here. And, would it be Ethernet? But it wouldn't really be Ethernet. Oh, E131, okay. IP address. I know the IP address of this thing. Okay. We're going to call this the DigiQuad. Because I'm not that great with X-Lights, so channels
You've
per
added
universe
WLED stuff before.
What's that?
You've added a WLED E131 before, right?
I have, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
All right, so starting universe is 1. The universe count, if we're going to have 1200 LEDs, what is that? It's like divided by 172 or something? Is that right?
Sorry?
So the number of universes. How many universes total?
Oh, what? There's 255 in a universe, I believe.
Or 170? No, please don't make me have to watch Star.
Oh God!
Oh gosh, I'm
why,
telling
why,
you,
why?
nobody is more scared of it than me. We won't hack on this for too long. We won't hack on this for too
No.
long. We'll try this briefly, and
If we
then
can make
we will.
something blink, it's a win.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. We'll try and make something blink. I don't know. I'm just gonna put 10 universes.
Sure.
I don't know how many it's gonna end up having to be. Okay. And that should be it. That should be it. Layout. We're gonna delete this. We're gonna do. Actually, we'll try 4 single lines like this. And in nodes, there's going to be, we're just going to say, oh, we don't even need to say 300, right? We can say, we'll have to have it, we'll want it to go to the end of those. So my first one is 144. So why don't we just do it that way? We'll do 144 in this one. One string 144. I don't know if that'll work or not. Yeah, somebody with who's better with this is going to have to do this better than me. The nodes there's going to be, the next one was 6, no, the next one's 30. The trick is going to be which universes start this thing, right? I think right now I'm going to have to change which universes it starts at.
Yeah, so the first one is just universe 0, and then how many LEDs did you have connected?
144.
Okay. And then it's 300 LEDs divided by 170. So that's 1.7 universe. We should have prepared this better. Oh, okay. Chat is helping. Chat is helping. 144 times 3 is 432 channels, 1 universe.
Okay.
In 1 universe?
Start each string in a new universe. That's kind of what I was thinking. So then, so can I do this one? And here, do I get to designate the starting universe?
Oh, start each string in a new universe. Okay, that's smart. But we have to adhere to the 300, 300, 300, 300 we set.
Maybe set this to the 300.
Yeah, it has to start at LED 300, but
the starting location box number 2.
I believe the X-Lights counts in channels.
Location.
Not sure.
No.
See, Kosh knows. Kosh 42 EFG.
Yeah, Kosh knows. I'm
We
already,
need
I'm
to
already
add.
lost.
We need to add more heads.
Right? Yeah. Make each
We
universe
should look at
450
that like during
channels.
Christmas or New Year. We can add Frank like on top of me, and then we
Let's
can
do it.
add, I don't know,
Yeah,
Rob
we'll
or
get a bunch
someone
in
else.
there. Ignore you?
Because with the
I'm trying to
oh,
follow you,
sorry.
Kosh. No, go ahead.
With the method we now use in OBS, you can add each participant in the call as a different source.
Well, where do I set the different universes, fellas?
We'll talk about this later. Yeah. Set universe 1 for strings, one set universe
Oh,
3
there
for
it
strings.
is. So it says universe 1 there. Where is it here?
I'm just gonna pray.
Dude, yes, please.
What's the? I can point at stuff. You need to click here.
So
Click here.
universe 5 for
And
string 3,
then
universe 7 for string 4. What I'm not seeing here is where is the universe button? Where do I put the universe? In the controller settings. Oh, okay. So do I do each? Oh, this is going to be bad. Channels per universe, individual size. Start universe. So would I have a different controller for each of these connections
I
for
don't
each
think
of these
so, because
strings?
you set that this controller had no. You have to have one controller, and
Okay,
it
one
just has a
controller.
lot of universes, and those have the channels or the LEDs in them. So you need to calculate where in the universes
Make each
the
universe
second strip
450.
or the 300 is basically. So chat, if we have a 4 segments of 300, universe 1 is of course the first strip, but then if we want to set universe 2, which universe and which LED does that land? Can you calculate that?
One controller with 2,000 universes.
Wow, okay.
Be easier if E131 honored the segment setup. Right now it only outputs the raw strip, so you need to send data to all 1200. Need to get to that soon.
Yeah.
In the string start channel. Oh, I clicked on it and it took me there. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know to do that. That goes here, isn't it? In the string. That start channel 1.
Oh, what have I done, Doc? Sorry.
I know.
So 2 universes is 450 channels.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So number string. Number of strings? Is that what it is?
No, I don't think so. It's 900 channels or 300 LEDs. Yeah.
Please get Kosh on the stream. Try the layout tab. Yeah. Kosh, you want to come on? We could try it.
Yeah, we can add you.
Go back to sequences, then go to controller channel settings. Universe 1 for string 1. Set universe 3 for string number 2. So here.
I'm just going to
Universe
use
3
the
for string
people.
number 2. Oh, there it is. Set start channel. No, that's not. I don't understand.
I thought I'd show them a closer look of the board.
There it is. Yes, zoom in. Yes, distractions. We need distractions.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you some time. So as we mentioned, this is the QuinLED Dig Quad. It's still very solderable by hand, but there is a pre-assembled version coming. And yeah, so beneath the ESP, just like on the Dig Uno, there is 4 output terminals over here. And then you have 7 positive terminals and 7 negative terminals to which you can, output power. and they're going through 5 of these fuses. So fuse 1 does the first 2 screw terminals, fuse 2 does the second 2, and then fuse 3, 4, and 5 each have their own output terminal. So you can divide your LED strips over those and hook it up. It has 3 input negative and 3 input positive terminals to make it handle a lot of power. And you just plug the watch the pin out. Plug the ESP32 on top of it, and it's still pretty compact of a board, but you can drive now multiple channels and have lots of power handling, 5 volt, 12 volt, level shifted, etc.
Awesome. That was a perfect distraction. In the meantime, did I get it working? And we've got Scott here, who's an X-Lights developer for the last year.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so did you see what I did? I was following Kosh or whoever gave me this. I finally got to the right spot. So, it was Scott. Scott said for string 1, set universe 3, for string 2, universe 5, string 3, universe 7 for string 4. Okay, so I think I did that. I went to each one of these. This one starts at start channel, right? Start channel 1. And then start channel 3. See, this is one of those terminology things that messes me up, because if I was looking for the word universe, and I should have known this would be here. Anyways, start channel 3, start channel 5, start channel 7. So does that look like it's going to work? I didn't do it right. Listen to Scott. 2 universes, 900, 2 universes.
Yeah, so then basically universe 3 should be LED channel 2. But I'm not sure.
It has to be number 1. Okay, so Scott says I didn't do it right. Okay. So this needs to be like this. And then this one needs to be, is it going to be then number 1, 3, like that? Or is this going to be number 3? Quinn's head's in the way.
Oh, hold on.
Here, I'll just move X-Lights. It's easier. Yeah, that's easy. Oh my gosh.
We'll get it working. We'll get there.
We'll have fun in the meantime.
In the meantime, if anyone has any questions about the board or its capabilities, of course they can visit QuinLED.info. But ask in the chat. We're here now.
Number 3-1. Okay. First though, do you see my lighting is changing? Because it hit the time of day that now my new shades go up. That was a whole nother topic that I was going to stream about like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But I need to put it down because it's too bright right now.
Okay. So Tracer asks, how much current can the board handle? Well, there's multiple statistics for this board. I've rated it for 30 amps continuous input power, or total board power basically, but I've tested it up to 50 amps. So I've basically said, okay, you can do continuous 30 amps and then you can do peak power 50, 60 amps, no problem. But as I said, I've tested with 50 amps continuous, and then the board gets about 50 degrees. So if you're going to run that much power, a little bit of airflow would be nice. Per channel or per fuse, you can do 10 amps of output, but the pre-assembled will get shipped with 5 amp fuses. So yes, there is going to be a pre-assembled version of that. We're currently doing a pre-sale of those on through our Discord servers. So if you were in there, you would have already known this. If you aren't in there, why aren't you on our Discord servers? I mean, do you know, Doc?
I don't know. I would expect everybody.
So join the Discord servers and you'll get the news first. So yeah, 30 to 50 amp total power, or 30 amp continuous with 50 amp peaks, 10 amp per fuse or output terminal max, and you can divide power like that a little bit. So you'll have to calculate the amount of LEDs connected and the realistic usage. I have my LED power usage chart for that. Yeah, and then you can figure out how much you can do with that. But 30 to 50 amps total should be no issue.
I'm having a silent conversation with Scott here. I'm watching everything Scott puts in there in the chat, and I'm trying to make it happen over here. So I think I'm in a
Nice.
good spot. Of course, with the delay on the stream, sometimes I don't. I'll wait a minute, but
Why have a power on the board? Is it switchable with the MOSFET? So why have power go through the board? I think you mean, well, otherwise you can't use the fuses, and you'd have to do that externally. So now it's a power distribution board with fuses and the LED controller in one, so you don't have to use external fuses anymore, especially if you have like a 50 amp power supply. It's really recommended to use some fuses there because, well, you can easily start a fire. It does not have a MOSFET, but what it does have, and let me see if my other camera is still working, and well, you're probably not going to be able to see it, is this little green connector, which is probably gone on your screen because it's a, green
yeah,
screen.
it
That
is.
is a 5-volt EXT connector. I have a different board here with all green connectors, but that connector isn't on there. So the 5-volt EXT connector I put on there if you want to use a big 5-volt or 12-volt power supply for your LEDs, and then you can use a smaller, like a phone charger or whatever, power supply 5-volt for the board electronics only. And then if you set in WLED to turn off the LEDs, you can connect a relay using the broken out GPIO pins. The relay will turn off the big power supply, so all LEDs will turn off, but the board will remain reachable for WLED or Home Assistant or whatever you're using. So that way you can save power when you turn off the LEDs. So you can have a dual power supply setup basically. So that was possible on the Dig Uno. But now I made some extra terminals for it to make it a lot easier. So yeah.
Okay, I think this is actually gonna. Oh my gosh, it's actually working, you guys. Hold on.
Nice.
Look at that. Okay, so
Antonio
there's.
asks, can you run 12 volt? Yeah, the board is fully 5 volt, 12 volt compatible.
Okay, so now we're gonna try and do line 2. Come on, you. Oh, what happened? This is DrZzs hacking, destroying X lights again. I can't. I put this there and I can't get rid of it. What is this thing? There it goes.
Well, it's doing something.
It's doing something. I need to put stuff on each one that makes some sense.
Yeah, maybe different colors or.
Oh, that's what I did. I slid it the wrong way. Okay, let's try. I don't know how well this is going to work. Just throwing some stuff on here.
Scott says the bars effect.
Bars effect. Are they in alphabetical? Yes, they are.
Butterfly.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, let's see. I think I got something going over there.
Let's see if I missed any questions. Can Home Assistant speak to this GPIO to toggle the relay? Well, if you use ESP Home, for instance, sure. But if you're running WLED on the board, it's a good question. I do not know if it's exposed over the API or MQTT, but if you turn off all the LEDs, it should work automatically, I believe. Oh yeah, Air Cookie answer that. WLED does it automatically if you toggle the power. Yeah. If I use this in multi-room, will it extend power line affect the LEDs? Yes, if it's really far away, it's easier to use separate controllers because then you can use a power supply and a controller close to where the LEDs are. So the Dig Uno is ideal for that. But if you have lots of LEDs or you're doing like a whole room setup or you want to have multiple strips and the locations are close together, you can now use a Dig Quad. How we doing, Doc?
I don't know. So you can see the lights there, right? Oh, I've got this first one coming on.
Yeah.
But none of the others.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's because of... I'm sure it's user error, but I'm not seeing them come on. This is what this looks like. No smoke yet. It's getting a little hot.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good measurement.
Butterfly, bars, butterfly.
Hydrate, hydrate. We're supposed to hydrate.
Yeah, I do need to hydrate. Okay, what do you see? So it's only doing the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if maybe that's a layers thing.
Or did we miscalculate the universe setup?
I'm wondering if it's a layers thing. Charlie asked, what's the price?
Well, you can build it DIY. I have guides and soldering guides. I released a soldering guide just last Friday. And you can build it yourself, and then you're probably looking at like 20, 25 bucks a piece, with all the components and stuff included, but then you have to do the work yourself. There is a pre-assembled version that's currently on a Discord pre-sale, and that is $37.50. And you can get it worldwide through my shop, AllNet China, and you can get it for the US and Canada locally stocked by DrZzs only, from his website.
Show them on the page.
No, universes start to overlap at some point. The universe is only so big, I believe 510 channels, and each LED is 3 channels, so then you have multiple universes. Will there be an acrylic case available for the quad? Yes, in the worldwide store, it will have an acrylic case, and I believe DrZzs is still looking into what he can do.
Yeah, I haven't found one yet for the quad, but I've only had them for a few days. So I will keep looking for something.
We're just way too excited.
Yeah, this has been really cool because Quindor talked to me about this a few weeks ago, a month ago or something. I don't remember when we started talking about the quad.
Yeah.
But when we started talking about the quad, at first, my first thought was, well, if there's not software to use with it, we're probably going to have a pretty limited group that's going to be able to make use of it. But I said, but it's awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's get them going and make them and get them available. And I got them like just a couple days ago. And and yesterday and the day before is when we really started looking into this and discovered some of these things. And we did for completeness sakes. I did see Frank say something about you can do this with ESP Home. Yes, you can, and I did. And I didn't have flickering, but I think I used a different platform than what Quindor used.
A different setup. Yeah.
But I could still only get 3 of them working. One of them wasn't. I for some reason was getting 2 of them responding the same, and others differently. But anyways, yes, you can, but it's not nearly as cool. Now I thought ESP Home could be something that people could do before WLED becomes available, but now essentially WLED is available. It's not official. But it's pretty solid.
There's some caveats with only one safe slot and only RGB, and you need to compile the LEDs you want or use that 300 version we do. But it's definitely workable, I think.
So Scott's saying set the universe size. Is that here? Set the universe size to 512. Why would you buy the quad instead of 4 MCUs? Umberto, good question. If you have a central point you want to run them all from, well, for one, it's cheaper. It's going to be less expensive for you. For me, I have, as we've seen, I have network limiting problems, right? I have network limiting problems. So I try and reduce the number of individual devices that I have on my network because I have Wi-Fi issues. So like the curtain things, I'll talk about the curtain things another day, but I redid all my window shades and I'm only using the RF control. because it's 433 megahertz, and that gets a bunch of stuff off of my 2.6 gigahertz band.
2.4, yeah.
2.4, sorry. What did I say? 2.6?
Yeah, well, it's okay.
2.4, 2.6, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing is, even if you're just going to use one channel, but you're going to use, like, I get a lot of questions about the people who want to do LED strips all around the edges of their room, and then they're like, yeah, I'm going to use a 4 or 5 meter or 16 feet strips. And I'm like, sure, you can do that, that's fine, but you will have to do power injection. And then if you look at a Dig Uno, and I've shown this in some videos, you can connect a external power block and then just use multiple connections for that. It's fused through one fuse, so that's okay. But with this one, you have 7 output terminals running over 5 fuses. So for the larger installations where you want to run 3 or 4 LED strips behind each other, just one channel, you now have the terminals and the fuses available to do that power distribution and fusing that you need to do in those big projects on the board. So it makes even just power injection alone a lot easier.
And somebody asked, do I have a use case? And I actually do, because, no, now it's gone back to WLED. My use case is the original lights that I put up on the outside of my house 3 years ago. I have 3 different strings that all come to one box, and it's out on the edge of the roof. I've been trying to figure out how am I going to get an Ethernet cable out there so I can switch over to cult boards and things instead of Wi-Fi, because originally I had one chip that I was using. Oh my goodness sakes. It just brought me a yumminess. Look at that. I thought I could smell like cinnamon cooking downstairs, and sure enough I could. Thank you, baby. Okay. Sorry. Back to this. I wish I had enough to share with everybody. I could cut it up in, a couple hundred pieces and put it in the mail. But so I had this one location out there, and initially, back when I was using the Bruh Sketch, I just had one D1 Mini out there, and I was basically just splitting the data, and it was so all 3 strings were doing the exact same thing. WLED came along, and I put 3 different node MCUs out there, and that worked fine for a while. But then I started having a lot of my issues with Wi-Fi stuff, and that's one of the things that I want to sacrifice. So with this, I can put this out there in that spot. I can have one Wi-Fi device, and I can run those 3 channels separately. And if we get this figured out right, which we're on the right track, we're going to get there.
Yeah,
then we can I can even do X lights through this thing out there. So back to this now.
And in some situations, like if you have a closet for it, I get a lot of questions about LED projects. Join our Discords for that. We help out with that stuff. But if you have a closet, for instance, and you want to do 4 shelves or you want to do 4 pillars, I often get the question. Before, you'd have to loop around the data wire and have to do all kinds of intricate wiring to make it one long string. Now you just have 4 output channels, so you can have a data wire go to each pillar, for instance, and just wire it up that way, and you don't have to make it one giant snake of an LED strip and just divide it up that way. And then you can make each pillar do their own effects and stuff like that too. So it has a lot of benefits in medium to larger LED projects. Smaller LED projects, you just want to hook up a single strip, just get a QuinLED Dig Uno, hook up that strip, you'll be happy. But if you want to do something more complex or bigger LED project or multiple strings and stuff like that, or even just multiple LED strips and power injection, the Dig Quad will help a lot with that. Make it a lot simpler.
Yeah. We got good questions here too. So Kenneth is saying WLED uses GPIO 12 for a relay. Is that available in the Dig Uno? I don't know about Dig Uno, but what about Dig Quad?
Yeah, on the Dig, it's available on the Dig Uno and Dig Quad, but it might differ from the GPIO pin. So I have the Q1 through Q4 GPIO pins available, but you have to look in the pinout guide to which that maps either on an ESP8266 or on a ESP32 because the mapping changes.
Welbo's asked, what did I say for Ethernet? CULP, KULP. It's a special boards for running the big shows. They're Ethernet, and I mean, I guess you can some do Wi-Fi as well, but basically it's a whole different setup. It doesn't do WLED, it just does shows like through X lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see what else. Somebody else.
Cope, you can get to 32 output string. Yeah, Cope boards are like insane amount of channels to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's a different league and also a different purpose. So yeah.
And I have them. I bought a Cope board and a couple of expansion boards to play with, but you know, that's the next level, and I'm still hardly there yet. Set all the string sizes to 300. Okay. Oh man, Scott, do you have a mic? You might be able to just walk me through this so much easier. Set all the string sizes to 300. So where it says nodes per string, set that to 300. Oh, I got to go back and do the first one too. And Air Cookie made a good comment too, that it would probably be easier to use this with X lights if you compile yourself and you have each thing set up to the right number instead of just using our generic 300. So,
yeah, well, we only have to do the math once.
That's true.
I'll try and update that page later today or tomorrow with some more instructions on how it works and what you can compile and stuff like that, so people know where to find it.
Internal input terminals to the board design for pull-up. Valdis, you want to answer that question?
Wait, what? Where did it?
He's better reliability, network goes down, connect to wall switches, something.
Would you think of adding the support for input terminals to the board design with support for pull-up? I'm not sure what he means with that.
We had some issues with Ethernet on the QuinLEDs.
Yeah, I've tried designing an Ethernet board before with the QuinLED Deca Pro, but that project has been shelved for now. I renamed it to Plus because it's going to come out without Ethernet first. And kind of the problem is if I want to do a board with Ethernet, I can do it. I have prototyped it, but those will not be available DIY anymore because they'll have to be SMD for a large part to keep signal traces in control and stuff like that. So that's kind of the downside. Yes, we can do Ethernet, but then we're going to leave the DIY space. And I'm not saying I won't do that. I just wanted to finish this first, and then we'll work on some other stuff after that.
All right. So we can get Scott in here, and I think Scott could help us bang this thing out in a minute. So Scott, how do you want to call in? You want to join Skype? That would probably be easy. Or
yeah, if he has a cam, we can just add him.
Yeah, we can do a video call. We can do voice call through Skype. Are you, let's see, Scott, I'm trying to see how I can. It doesn't let me do anything good to you. I guess I can add moderator, but I can hide user. I can put user in timeout. I can remove or report. It's like, it's all punitive. Well, even being a mod is punitive in some cases.
So the Lindsay asks, can it do PoE? So PoE is an interesting thing. PoE is nice for a phone or a camera or something else, small equipment, but running LEDs off PoE, the amount of power you get from PoE is quite low. So normal PoE, you get 15 watts, but you shouldn't use more than 8 or 9. And then you have 80 PoE, and then you're up to like 20 watts effectively, maybe. And then there's newer standards like BT and stuff like that, but that's really new. But you can only run like a few LEDs off of something fed from PoE next to the board. And you still have to buy like a $600 switch and an Ethernet infrastructure to then hook up a board to run a few LEDs on an Ethernet cable. I just don't see the use case, to be honest. And there's lots of conversions going on. So yes, officially it's 15 watt. after conversion losses on multiple sides, it's down to about 10. And there's lots of heat involved, and PoE, sensors, little boards, stuff like that, great. Stuff that uses power, like LEDs. I mean, I designed this board to be able to handle 50 amps. If you're going to connect the power supply anyway, what uses PoE? But this is maybe a kind of a personal rant. Because I get this question. It's like, what are you going to use it for? Do you want to run 3 LEDs off of PoE? Sure, go ahead. But
Wires are kind of small in there.
yeah, there's just not a lot of copper.
I'm waiting for to figure out how we connect with Scott. He says he has a mic, but my guess is he's probably doing other things at the same time as watching the stream, which most people probably should be. PoE on a dig quad will make your cables smoke.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, you just have to buy basically a really expensive power supply, which gives you the wrong voltage, and then you have to convert it back, so you lose 15 to 20%, and you have to have humongous converters, which output a lot of heat. It makes no sense. I understand PoE is cool, and it's certainly nice for IP cameras and other equipment, but for running LEDs, I don't see it.
Okay, I want to add somebody to the call. Scott, how do I get your...
Skype or Zoom? Skype would be great.
Skype would be great since we already have a Skype call running. We could just add you to it. And
yes.
So why don't let's see, Scott, do I have you in Discord? Scott, why don't you send me in Discord something, your Skype contact, and then I will add you to the call. Probably have to add you as a friend somehow first, and then I'll add you to the call.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much. I don't know what you were doing with your Saturday afternoon besides this, or whatever it is, Sunday afternoon. I've had a lot. It's been a long couple of weeks in the Z's house. I've lost track of days of the week long ago.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the stream a little bit, but the work you do, it just stacks up if you can't do it, and then you have to do it all at once.
That's right, and it's been that way.
So,
even today, I mean, so I made the mistake 2 weeks ago of responding when somebody they were asking for help. You know, they were like, "Hey, we have 4 operating rooms running. We need to open 5 or 6. Do we need some help?" And I said yes, and then I ended up in there all day, and I didn't get to stream. And then last week was just plain my turn to work on a Sunday, so I worked. But it's just been we've definitely been catching up. We have definitely been catching up. So there's a lot, but not today. Today I get to do my hobby stuff.
Exactly.
I have a link to good ESP32 on Alex. Is ESP32 Pro interesting?
Is there an ESP32 Pro?
I don't know.
I don't know, but on DrZzs.com or on QuinLED.info, you have your link topics. I believe there's ESP32s in there. And I have my hardware guides, and you can find ESP32s in there too. So, yeah.
Large sustained light bulb. I just don't want Scott to have to post his Skype link in the main chat.
No, don't post it on YouTube. That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
ESP32 Pro is an ESP32 plus external antenna. Well, if it's in the D1 Mini form factor, the pinout should, in theory, be the same, and then you could use it on a DIG quad. I know some people have been using the D1 Mini ESP8266 Pro on the DIG Uno with an external antenna. That works fine. We actually, Rob in from the hookup, he featured that in one of his latest videos.
PCB dimensions for quad
for
is the same
quad
as
is,
DIG?
No, the quad and the DIG quad are 2 very separate and different boards. The quad is a 4-channel analog dimmer board, and the DIG quad is a 4-channel digital LED controller board. But that's clearly laid out on QuinLED.info. And the dimensions are certainly not the same.
So I'm going to throw it back to the discussion of the Ethernet. I know you broke out a bunch of pins here for the on the Dig Quad for the ESP32. And just from looking at ESP Home, I saw that there is a way to use Ethernet with an ESP32, which seems kind of funny because we think of them as a Wi-Fi board, but no.
Yeah, no chance.
No chance. Okay, done.
I've burned through, I think, $500 to $600 of prototype PCBs trying to get it to work. It's not going to work.
Okay.
Not that way.
Okay. Perfect. That's all I had to hear.
I have
Thank you for your
working on
work.
this for over a year. It doesn't work that way. That's what I said. If I want to do Ethernet, it can certainly be done with an ESP32, but then you'd have to integrate it SMD completely on a PCB. Okay. And then it won't be DIY anymore because, well, you don't want to build that with, you can't build it with a soldering iron, basically. So, yeah.
Invite Paul to make WLED Zigbee. Nice. We haven't done any pelvic thrusting. We could do a little tribute to Paul.
Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the Zigbee! Oh, the
use
Zigbee!
ESP8266 external antenna on an
Oh, the
old
Zigbee!
Cold War shelter sign. It now has LEDs on it. Nice.
Nice.
I have. You know what I used it for? I used the Pro. This was a D1 Mini, so the 8266 Pro on my wife's garage door opener. So for the MQTT car presence project, where you basically take a D1 Mini, put this sketch on, this Arduino sketch on with your Wi-Fi information, MQTT information, and then you put it in the car and you put it in a USB port that turns off when the car turns off and on when the car turns on, and then it controls the garage door beautifully. Hers wasn't connecting to the Wi-Fi soon enough for her liking, so I used a Pro. It had an antenna so that it would connect when she was further away. Was the idea. She was driving to the house.
Yeah.
Sent it on Discord. Oh, good. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an ESP32 Pro. I'll have to look into that. And we need that same form factor. That's the caveat.
All right, we're going to get Scott. And... oh, there he is. Okay, here comes Scott.
Are we gonna get a third? Or...
okay. Scott, are you there? He is.
I don't hear him yet.
I see him. We're causing some serious lag now.
Oh. We'll spec you out on
I can.
PC soon.
Yeah,
Doc.
we do need to. Let's do that. Let's see. I can even bring him in. Let's try this. We're gonna break something seriously right now, but we're gonna do it anyways. What fun is it?
I'm turned into a little head.
Yes, you shrunk. That's to fit Scott in. So Scott, I'm working on getting you in here. Let's give me a second, and I will put in a new source. This will be the. This is fun. I'm having fun.
Oh yeah, coming on your streams. It's always kind of a mix of we have a topic and chaos together. You know,
heavy on the chaos today. To have a little more chaos on there today. There's Scott. How's it going? Oh, I don't have audio for you, Scott. Maybe check your Skype settings and see if you possibly have a different mic going into Skype.
Oh, we're giant Skype logo now. Giant Skype logo now.
Yep, we're getting there. There he is. Oh. Hey, there's three of us.
Yeah.
We're just gonna get Scott's audio. I hear something.
I don't hear him. Because I'm in the same Skype call, so I'm in the same Skype call, so the audio settings.
We're so close now.
Oh yeah. Nice. All three of us in the bottom row, that's cool.
All right, how's Chad doing? That's the big boss. And all the gnomes. You know what I think here?
Yeah, still not hearing you, Scott.
Yeah.
You check the audio settings in Skype? Yeah, of course. Okay. Do you have anything else using the microphone at the same time, maybe?
I love your workshop, by the way. Looks
That's
awesome.
cool.
Dang. Okay. Well, if you
Well, he can point. Maybe he can point at stuff.
we'll give you another minute to see if you can troubleshoot the audio, and if you can't, then let's try Discord, just for audio. Yeah, it's a no-go.
Well, add a Discord call for audio. You
That's
can try
okay. That's okay. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Scott. Okay.
Did you plug in the mic? I think he plugged in the mic. Come on.
Okay, I will make sure I don't have you muted or something. No, now I have you muted. No, so that's not it. Okay. All right, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to remove Scott from the call, and then let's try to do a voice call through Discord, Scott. Now QuinLED's probably going to get big.
Oh, no. No, I'm still here. Am I here? Hello?
Yeah, you're still here. I just removed Scott. And
Okay.
see, now you've shrunk. You moved a little.
It's okay.
Okay, we'll get rid of that.
I'm like 1.90 meters in how many?
I don't know
how much American?
Is that tall?
Let's see. I'm 6'2".
Oh man, you are tall.
Yeah, I'm pretty tall. Stand up. No, I'm not gonna stand up.
I am standing.
Wait.
Okay.
These floating heads are just too funny.
All right, I'll get you back to where you're not drowning. Looks like Discord is not going to input from your mic.
Get me up.
Okay. I'll try that. Nope. Okay, how about that? Check that. Yep. Okay, that's good. And okay, we're gonna do that. All right. Now, oh, there's Scott.
Hey.
You guys hear him?
Hello?
I hear him. Can you guys hear Scott?
Hello?
I think I hear him through your speakers, but I'm not sure on the stream yet. I don't have the stream audio open, so. Can anyone in the YouTubes hear Scott?
Do you guys smell the smoke from all that thinking I've been doing? You hear him. Yay! Get some water at the bottom of the screen. Yes, from far away. Okay. Maybe.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, I can do one more thing. And okay. All right, Scott, sing us a song.
Hello. How you doing?
Got him. Okay.
I can't see anything, so I don't know, and the YouTube lag is like a minute behind.
Yeah. Well, you're on. I know we've got your audio.
Okay.
And there's probably an echo, and that's okay. I can probably manage that here. All right, that should still be okay.
Okay.
All right, except now I can't hear you. Why
Yeah, I verified on the screen. It's not working. On the stream audio, it's not working. Cool.
Now it's okay, but a bit of echo. Now it's double. Okay, the reason it's double is because I've got to hear him through my speaker here too. So we might just have to deal with some echo for a little bit. But
you have to whisper.
I'll make it.
You have to
try
whisper.
To make it quick then.
No, you don't have to whisper. Scott has to whisper.
I'll whisper anyway. Okay. All right, so we're going to deal with a little bit of echo. But hey, Scott, thanks for being here. Welcome.
Yeah, sorry, the Skype was saying I don't have a valid mic, but then I jump in here and it says I'm good, so I don't know what.
It's Microsoft. It's Microsoft. They hate you. They
I
hate
use
us all.
Zoom all day, so.
Yeah. Well, Discord's working. I know that they can hear your audio. I can hear you. So we are golden. Let's
Okay.
get busting on X-Lights. Thank you so much for your work on X-Lights.
No problem.
It's fantastic. And even though I'm still, I mean, I've even been trying for a couple years, but the problem is I do it kind of part-time. I'll try it and I'll understand some things and then I'll put it aside for months and then I'll try and come back. And I still have not established an actual massive show at my house. So that's probably why I haven't consistently gotten into it. But thank you for being willing to be here and to give me some input on this.
Yeah.
So
I was on your stream last winter, if you remember, too. Probably not.
were you? Was it the
Yeah.
last time I tried to do X-Lights?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks. And I'm no better now than I was. Oh, man. His
Yeah,
volume is
so
pretty low compared to ours. Okay, I can turn him up.
I'll eat my mic more.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
keep it up on there. I'm trying to let him be loud enough, but not make an echo, but we're going to just have to deal with echo probably. Okay, so.
Yes. Yeah, the problem is like getting the start channels right. So in the controller tab, someone told me, I thought you could change the universe size in the controller. You can't. So in the controller tab, you're going to have to change it back to 512. I didn't know that was a restriction of these WLED controllers. So you got that? Okay.
I
So
got
then
that back, yep.
Yep. So then in the layout tab, go back to the second tab there.
So is Scott able to do the
So the
intricate
first one is
math we
keep as
need?
is the string 2. Click
Okay.
the string 2 model and then go to start channel and hit the 3 dots.
I don't even have 3 dots.
The start channels, it says
there.
%2 if you highlight it.
Okay, I got it.
And then hit the 3 dots on it. Just select the end of model and then select the end of model, the third bubble down, and then select string 1 or single line 1.
Okay, I should be sharing my screen with you as well.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So, but it's not showing this actual. It's not showing this actual little box when I hit the 3 dots. But so I go to universe number and put what for universe number?
Just do end of model, the third option. We're just going to chain them all together is what it's called. So do end of model.
Okay.
And then select single line 1 or single line. And then at the top, make sure it's, yep, and just hit OK. You might get some, or did you? You didn't select single in that drop down right next to end of model. Like in the dialog you were just in, the little dialog, go back to it.
Okay, there it is. Okay, so what I'm doing is just I'm not actually, we don't have to do the math in this case, Quindor. We just are telling it.
Yeah,
we want you to start where the last string stops.
Yeah, since we put 300, we're kind of just faking it out and saying it's going to match the controller, which is set to 300, even though you physically don't have 300
we have to
LEDs.
calculate
so then this one do the same thing, just chain it off of the second
for
one.
the second string, right? I mean, first string is like 1 to 72 if you have 72 LEDs, but then the second is 300 to 372, and that's like 300 is 3 LEDs because you have red, green, and blue, so that's 900 channels you have to basically skip. That makes sense. And then it's all chopped into universes too, so.
Okay. Well, we're going to give it a try.
Yeah, now if you hit save there and just go back to your sequence and do like a render all, and then output and see what it does.
Okay. And it's just the first one. Oh, no. It's working. We did it. But by we, I mean you. Yes! It's working. We did it. So now, yep, sure enough, that one cut off. So line 4 is this one. Okay, they all cut off. All right, sweet. So let's go back and look at that again. So
nice.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Scott. Okay, so we're going to go back to X-Light settings so we can summarize this for anybody who dares to try it again. So I've added the dig quad as an E131 Ethernet, put the IP address in here. The channels per universe is set to 512, and that's it. Now we go to the layout, and what I did was I set up just a single line, and each one I set to 300 nodes per string. 300 nodes per string, 300 nodes per string, 300 nodes per string, okay? So that may be a little messed up because it then thinks that there's 300 on each one.
Yeah, and that just makes the start channels correct because you have 300 in the WLED per string in the compiled option.
So if you compile it yourself, you can set that exactly to what yours are. But in this case, set it to 300, and at least you're going to get something. And then for the start channel, so for the first one, the start channel is just number 1:1. For the second one, we went in here and we selected end of model, and then which model is what you select from this dropdown, and that model is single line. And that's the first one. That's this single line model right here. So we've selected that. So it's starting at the end of that one. And then we just did the same thing for each of these. We go to here, end of model. And this one, in this case, we're going to start from the end of model number
and because
2.
it thinks it has 300 LEDs, it's automatically correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if you look at the parentheses, it says
Well,
the
the
exact
effect
start
might
channel,
be
so it goes
different,
1,
but,
901, 18. So it's doing every 900, which is 300 LEDs.
Got it. What is this number after the colon? 8:15.
So that's the offset in the universe. Like if you wanted it to be the 144, you would have to. I tried to calculate those numbers in Excel and I was failing miserably. So I said 300 is just easier.
Yeah.
But like if you manually set the start channel to like 901, 1801, and 2701, then you could change those LED counts and be fine. It's just an easy way to do every 900 channels.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason like it's 4 something is because that's 512 per universe, so it's 900 minus 512 for the second one, so it's like 3 something. But
I don't know why that would be hard math. Jeez. Especially on live math. But I used to, in my medical training, that was often a thing that one of our attendants would do to us, was ask us to do calculations of things like in public, like in rounds, like where you got 10 people watching, and he's like, okay,
really?
And it was mean.
Damn.
Math in public, ready, go. It was just mean.
Well, that's why initially I wanted to do 450 because that's an easy divisible by, but you can't change the universe count in WLED, so I didn't realize that until after the first couple.
Okay, so we're there, right?
Yeah, awesome.
We did it. So fantastic. See, I knew that all that struggle, and we got Scott on here, and we did it in about 10 seconds.
That's really cool. So dig quad, multi-output alpha functionality in WLED, and running the same WLED, you can also use it for E131. I'm really happy.
And there you go.
I thought it was just going to take months to, get some basic functionality in WLED. And I know Air Cookie's been working on it, but, this little mod that enables it for now with some restrictions is really cool.
It's not bad. It is not bad. It will only get better, but this is
absolutely.
I'm with you. This is more functional than I expected it to be, especially with E131 and X-Lights. I mean, that's just crazy. That's crazy good. Scott, while we got you here, what else is happening in the X-Lights development world?
Right now we're kind of in the slow season because we don't want to break stuff.
Right.
Like we did, I don't know if you haven't touched it much, but the controller tab was the big update this year to redo the first setup tab to controller tab thing. So that's the big integration this year that's new. And that's what I've been talking to Air Cookie a little bit about, integrating the WLED controller better into this. So instead of having to manually configure stuff like we kind of always do, we could just, there's those upload options on the bottom, which upload automatically to controllers, the configs. I'd like someday to make it so WLED works with this to be a lot easier. So you could just kind of figure this out and hit upload and be done. So
when you set it in WLED, like you set your segments or whatever, then you can just say, upload it from WLED basically, and it would grab those segments and it would set them all as different models or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
what how your cult board is and stuff. When you say you have a 50 LED light on there, on a strand on output, you hit upload, it'll automatically configure the cult controller for you, 50 LEDs on that output 1 or whatever. And that's what there's integration for a lot of controllers. For the ESP Pixel Stick has it, but WLED there's no integration because AirCookie doesn't have an API for it yet. That's what I'm hoping we can get in there at some point so we can integrate all that.
Well, awesome. Man. LEDs are just getting cooler and cooler. More and more accessible.
Absolutely.
More and more accessible, more and more awesome for the regular Joes out there. So thanks for doing all that. So let's see. Welbo says some kind of WLED lights discovery. Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. Watch the beginning of the stream. There's an alpha hatch. Yes, and it's actually. Do I still have I probably still have it pulled up here, right here. I'll drop the link again, and I can actually.
Oh, I just did.
Oh, you just did. Good.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the video description too. Actually, I can do that so that it's there.
Just
after.
link it to my page, and I'll keep updating that with more information about it the coming days. So
awesome. This is cutting edge, man. This is like 2 days ago we didn't know we could put all this together, so this is pretty cool.
Nope. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. And anything else that I was going to stream about today took a distant second place to this. This was just too exciting not to bust out.
I stayed up until 4 or 5 a.m. yesterday. It looked like it could work, so I couldn't sleep before it did.
Oh, man. Via Dig Uno board, AirCookie beer, done. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Athemi, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. Checked all the boxes. Thank you very much.
You need to watch the rest of the stream where we did some explanation time elabu. But there we did some more explanations, and then you can just use the binary to flash, or you can do a custom compile if you're comfortable with that. Can we get a list of practical uses for LEDs? Well, my whole room is lit by LED. My whole house is lit by LEDs. How are you lighting your house?
So here's some basic stuff. We'll go through some basic stuff. Put them on the outside of your house and keep them up all year long. For me, that's numero uno, because basically you have Christmas lights that aren't just Christmas lights anymore. And that's what I've been preaching for years is why not Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving and Halloween and everything else. And that's not including some of the big shows that Scott and a bunch of these guys do. That's just, oh, hey, I got Christmas lights and I can turn them green for St. Patrick's Day, whatever.
And simple effects in WLED makes it really easy.
Yes, and with WLED, you can make it really cool. It doesn't just have to be too simple. It's really cool. What else do we do? I think, for me, the second most popular use for them in my house is in the girls' bedroom. I put a little bit of that crown molding up around the top. And when I say crown molding, it's really corner molding. And I just laid the strip of LEDs on top of it, so it just points up at the ceiling. And then we turn it on in their room every night, and we play with the different effects, and they have ones that they like for going to sleep, and so that's a lot of fun.
Oh, in the newest 10.2, I believe AirCookie put a sunrise mode, and you can use it to. I haven't played with it yet, but I believe you can set a timer of sorts, and then it does some kind of sunrise effect.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get them to look nice without being just strange and sometimes ugly. Point them, home ace, point them up, or some people have used them to make like a specific lamp sort of an object, and those are kind of cool, right? Because then you can use it to light the room if you put it on like a yellow or a white, or a mood color or whatever you like, or you can use it for something fun, like it can give you. It can give you outputs, like if you hook it up with Home Assistant, you can say, oh, when somebody's at the door, make it red. Or when I get, when nobody's home, do something else, right? Or when the fridge is open, do that. Do something else. Do I have a picture of the girls' lights? I should, but I probably have one. I probably have a video of it on my phone.
Is that the one you did with what's her name, Pinky?
No, that was a
Pinky
different
Wafer?
one. So there is that.
Oh,
There
okay.
is that kind of a thing too, and I guess that would be sort of that sort of lamp object that you
Yeah,
could build,
yeah.
right? And you make it cool. But let me. I know I did a video about it not that long ago. But let me see if I can scroll through here and find it. It's going to be back so many because we found a really cool effect. There's a fireworks effect for WLED.
Yeah,
And when you,
yeah, that's cool.
it's so cool.
The fireworks 1D, where you get the little LED and then it explodes into all kinds of.
You know the one. You know the one. Let me see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's cool.
Because with the lights going around the room, when you start it, it launches like one little white LED and it just kind of zooms around and then it starts to fall and then it explodes, boom, and it sends colors in both directions and then it just keeps doing that. It's really fun.
Gonna ruin the video magic real quick.
Okay. Oh, in the background?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's delayed, so but now you can see it through the green screen, and I put on the fireworks 1D effect. And it's really cool because it now has 4 different outputs and 4 different segments. They don't all act the same, so the fireworks go a random distance and then explode in a random color. So that's really cool.
I've told the girls I would do a video about their lights in their room. That's why I took a little bit of video of it, but I can't find it right now. So that's not very. I know some other people have done stairs. Lighting their stairs is really cool. And if you work it right so that it's motion detected, if you could pressure sensor on your stairs, that'd be double awesome. But at least putting them on the stairs, so when somebody's walking on the stairs, it kind of light up down the stairs. That's pretty cool. Under the counters, or under the cabinets in the kitchen. What's that?
I put fireworks in your
It's
stream.
awesome. That's great. Can we see that with LED lights off? The TV thing. Oh, there you go, Gary. That's right. So behind your TV, ambient lights behind your TV. Super awesome. Super awesome. Really a cool thing. It's mesmerizing. Yes, it very much is.
It's funny.
I wanted to show, let's see, where did I get those from? Let's just find some. One of the coolest things from the newest version of WLED is the ability to put in a custom background. So,
oh yeah,
I'm going to show you.
I haven't played with that yet.
Oh, it's awesome. So let's do it right now. So you grab any image. Okay, here you go. This one. Copy link address. No, let's see. I want to copy image address. Copy image address. There
Sir, good.
Huh?
Sir Good Enough says the green is missing. Yes, that's true.
The green is missing. All right. Then you go in here, and I'm trying to remember where it is. User interface, and there it is. Background image URL, and you just paste in that image that you just grabbed. I think this will work. Let's see. This one might need to be. Might need to cut off some of the end of it. Well, we can save it and see. If it doesn't work, we'll try another. Okay, so it's saved. So you go back here, and there it is. Look at that. Now you can have any image. It's just a URL image. It's not locally uploaded to the ESP32 chip, or it's not living on your computer. This is something that if you want it to be a picture of your own stuff, then you just have to put it somewhere where it's publicly accessible URL. And so if you wanted a picture of your house or of your kids or something, that's on you, but you make it publicly accessible and then you can use the URL here. Is that awesome? And it's got a lot of, this latest version of WLED also has a lot of other user interface things, like you can change the background hex color. So the background color, this will be like of the top bar and stuff. So let's go back and look at that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now it's kind of purpley instead of black. up here. And it's fairly transparent.
cool.
You can change some of that too. Let's see, sync. Oh, no, not sync, user. Background opacity and button opacity you can change as well. You can make them really, really opaque or really transparent.
Yeah, so I think if people are using a lot of WLED, it's nice if you bought our boards and stuff like that. That's awesome. But go to the WLED GitHub, and then on the bottom of the page, there is a thank you link to PayPal. You can send Air Cookie, just a few bucks.
Or a lot of bucks.
But he keeps improving the software, and I think it's really worth it. He's giving it away for free, but I want him to keep continuing doing development, so I donate to him now and then. I think that helps out. So just so people know, on the GitHub, go to the bottom of the page, and there's a PayPal donation link for Air Cookie. He really deserves it.
I just hope it doesn't show my PayPal here. Hold on a second. Okay, it's not. It better not. Where's dollars?
Yep.
US dollars.
Oh, it's in euro? I don't know. I use euro all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess this is not going to leak my thing. Okay. Just for WLED awesomeness.
Can we see the setup for the fireworks? It's
Yes.
just the fireworks 1D effect.
I'll show it to you in a second.
Yeah, you
There's
can,
a tip
Doc
for
can
Air
show it.
Cookie. Thanks for your work, buddy. Look at that. My PayPal balance is nothing, so I better take this out of a different bank account.
Thanks, Air Cookie. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Okay. All right. Let's go in here, and I wanted to show a couple more things on the sync, the user interface, and then we'll do that 1D thing. So they have this I hate dark mode. If anybody ever wanted to turn off dark mode, you could do that. I don't know why you would. You actually put that in there, but you can turn off dark mode. Show the button tab bar in PC mode, so that would be the bottom bar, and you can turn off.
I just
labels.
caught up on the YouTube stream. That's an awesome tip, Doctors. Thanks for sending that to Air Cookie. That's awesome.
No, I don't tip him small when I tip him.
Yeah.
For I love what he does too. I agree with you, and I owe him a lot. He's made a lot of things successful for me because of this software. So I gotta make sure it's helping back.
Absolutely.
So anyways, you can take the labels off of this, and you can turn on or turn off this bottom bar too. I think I must have turned it on. So those are just a cool. Oh, you can actually do these as well. You can change some of this other stuff here. Let's do that.
So let me turn off my fireworks if you're gonna recreate them. Hold on.
So I changed a couple more things here. I got rid of. You can see I got rid of the color wheel. If you didn't want the color wheel, you can do the slider bars instead. Or if you wanted to exactly do a hex code for a color, you can do that instead. And I took off the pre-colors. Those are just options. I just want to show you the options that you have. And I took off the bottom bar down here. So those are just options. But now, that effect, let's look at, let's do it for segment 1. So we're going to control segment 1, and we're going to turn segment 1 on, and then it's just the firework 1D.
Yep, firework 1D.
There it is. Now some of my other segments are on, so I want to turn them off. Actually, I don't have to select them to turn them off. I can just turn them off. Okay. And it looks like right now my color is just this green color, so I need to pick a different palette for it. And I'm going to pick, there was one that's just like colorful or something like that. Yeah, C9 works pretty well. Okay, now you can look at it on here. And so it launches it, and then it explodes into all those colors.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's really cool.
And like you said, if you have like the crown molding in your room, you see that dot shooting over, and then burst into all the colors. That's really awesome.
It's really pretty fun. It's really pretty fun. The girls love it. I love it. They can't fall asleep with it though. That's not one that they they use when they fall asleep. Like, Dad, I can't sleep with the fireworks on. Okay, I'll turn it off. Eric Cookie, are you planning to include support for the Dallas temperature sensor natively? Because there is a Dallas temperature sensor on the digital.
Yeah, there's on all my boards I use the same temperature sensor, and there is a user mod you can install, but it's not included in the default firmware. I've been testing with it, and I got some flickering issues maybe, but I'm gonna raise a Git issue for that because I'm not sure if it's since latest code or something like that. But we'll get that fixed, and then maybe we can do a dedicated QuinLED board build or not in the future. We'll have to look at that. And I also believe the mod structure as it is now is going to change in the future, so maybe you could load those dynamically at some point. Not sure about that. Air Cookie will know. But yeah, for now it's not included. You'll have to do a custom compile. But yeah.
So Renee says, anybody an idea how to sync WLED and the new sunrise effect with my real sunrise with Home Assistant? How does the sunrise effect go by your time zone, Air Cookie? Is that how the new sunrise effect works? Where is that, by the way? Is that in... It's not in here. It must be in the user...
Oh, someone is asking how I set up that fireworks effect. Could you show them the image I sent you on Discord like yesterday?
Place your LED for that. So what he has is Home Ace. He has his dig quad on the wall, and then he has four strips just coming down at 4 angles. You can turn yours back on. Turn yours back on with that.
Yeah, effect, sure. Oh, yeah, you can, if you turn off the green screen, I guess it can show it.
No, leave it on. It's cool with the green screen.
Yeah, well, if we wanted to see the setup. But yeah, let me turn it to Fireworksies. Fireworks. There we go. Yeah. So that's the setup.
There it is.
Can they see that somewhat?
Uh-huh. Boom, boom, boom.
Cool.
Where's the pixel heads? Yeah, where are the pixel heads? Really upside down. Right now his is upside down, yes.
Yeah.
Set the timed light mode to sunrise. Timed light mode sunrise. Oh, okay, there it is. All right. So that's where you set it for sunrise, and then oops, I can save it. And then you set in the time and macros, you make sure you've got the right time zone. True that? And so then it will come on at sunrise. Is that what it does? I wrote a Python script using... Some call it fun. It also saves quite a few D1 minis from burning up.
Yeah.
You can enable I hate dark mode easily by clicking on brightness sun icon on the main page. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, some people on TikTok and other stuff are promoting their best LED strip or viral LEDs and stuff like that. And it's really annoying because they sell a $10 or maybe $15 WS2812B strip with 3 DuPont cables and a USB cable and an ESP, a WeMOS D1 Mini. And then they advise you to hook up the D1 Mini to USB and then put 3 DuPont cables and then connect the LEDs to the D1 Mini like that. And this is the best LED strip in the world. Please don't do that.
You can do it. You're going to fry that D1 Mini in a hurry.
Well, normally, the only reason it works is because WLED by default is set to limit to 850 milliamps. Of course, those LEDs are going to be very dim. They're not going to be very bright or anything. And the whole video he does, it's a scam because the effects he later shows in the videos, it's never possible without injecting more power. But he shows it like, yeah, just connect this D1 Mini, DuPont cables, LED strip, and it's all
I
awesome.
think
But it can never use more than 800 milliamps, or the D1 Mini will fry.
yeah, I think I saw that.
So it's really, it's sucky marketing. But yeah.
Here's Brendan's lights on the stairs. Somebody was asking about stair lights. How stinking cool is that?
I can't see it, but I'll see it
You'll
in a
see it
minute.
in a minute. It'll be there. He posted the Facebook link, the video to the Facebook link in the chat there.
Ah, okay.
Any good tutorial for
that's
total
cool.
noobs like me who are just getting into the hobby of LEDs and controllers and a bit overwhelmed when it comes to power supply needed for long runs and many LEDs?
Yeah, so I do a lot of that in either the WLED Discord or the Intermittent Technology Discord. I guide people through what they need to calculate and do. And well, you have some videos about it. I have some videos about it. I'll probably do a new video series about it soon. There is a lot of information out there. Just check the videos and the websites.
Yeah. And it's once you see it on a video, you probably have to watch it multiple times, or you have to watch multiple videos talking about the same topic if it's new to you. You know, if you've had some electricity classes or tinkered around much, it doesn't take long, and all of a sudden you go, oh, that's so simple. Which is why probably it maybe doesn't get explained in the way that makes it easy for a noob all the time. But QuinDor does a great job. It explains it multiple ways and multiple times, and I've done it. So it's not, and when I see people get confused about that, it's hard to be in the noob's shoes for very long because after you've done it a couple times, you're like, oh, that's really simple. And so then you wonder how did you not get that? But it's true. When you haven't played with it before, it can be intimidating. You know, electricity can be concerning to people, and I don't know how this is. What, you know, amps and volts, and am I going to die? Am I going to burn something up? And until you've played with it a lot or a few times at least, you can seem that way. But experimenting is okay. If you haven't exploded something or burnt up something a little bit, then you probably haven't pushed the boundaries enough.
Between me and the doc, I think we've sent a lot of D1 minis and stuff like that, and LEDs and complete LED strips, and they all went to heaven.
Yes, that's right. The electronics. Oh man. But yeah, there are stuff. There's stuff on QuinDor's website and channel and mine too.
Yep.
Any on how to do stairs like that? Well, I think Brendan's going to do one, aren't you, Brendan? Where you've talked about it, about how he does it. But I mean, he's got. I mean, the stairs. He's done a great job with a vinyl cutter of putting these sayings from Disney on there, and then this is just WLED and some LED strips running down the sides, and he just sets it to respond in different ways and.
Yeah, it's cool.
Going to do a video soon. There it is. I knew it. International QuinLED order like 2 weeks. Oh, did you? Fantastic. It's so random. I have people. In fact, I'm still tracking one. I'm still tracking an order that went to Canada in like June, and it bounced around the United States. I don't know how many times for how long, and then the last time I checked it, which a couple days ago, it was actually in Toronto, so it's finally made it to Toronto. It's so bad right now. Shipping is just crazy, but I try and get the orders out within a couple days. It does look like he did use a diffuser. Brendan, did you use a diffuser? I think he did, and I would definitely on this because you don't want just the bare LED strips. They're kind of ugly when you just look at them. You know, you got to look at the copper.
Most of the time, you don't really want to look directly into the LEDs. It's not very nice light. Reflective and shining on the wall or something like that. That makes it really cool. I did a video, maybe you caught that, I don't know, about a neon LED strip recently. So the LED strip is encased in a silicon sleeve. If you have to do something directly inside, those are really cool because the diffuser is built into it and it makes it look very smooth.
Oh, and Brendan just used something simple, which is great because you can buy, there are, those aluminum channels with the little diffusers on them, and they're not horribly expensive, but they certainly aren't super cheap. So there are other things you can do, like PEX tubing is a decent one. I've seen that you're talking about too. I remember Frank even was showing me something like that at one point, where it's basically a diffuser that's just a silicone tube. It's kind of squarish instead of being round. The one that he had anyways. And it looks really nice. And then it makes it look like it's flexible, where of course it's flexible, right? It's just your LED, it's just your strips like this, which are totally flexible, but they're inside of something else that makes it look like it's a tube, like it's a floppy tube.
Yeah, cool.
WS2811 pixels for direct lights. Strips are really no good without a diffuser or passive lighting. Yeah, you want them indirect. If you're looking right at them, you're gonna be miserable. What board would you suggest to install kitchen cabinet LED lighting? There would be 4 LED strips total, 2 on top and 2 under the cabinets.
So in a kitchen, I'm basically addressable RGB, as I explain it normally. Addressable RGB is great for accent lighting, fun lighting, effects, patterns, colors, stuff like that. It's great. The only thing addressable LED isn't that good at is white, because combining red, green, and blue, first of all, uses a lot of power, and you have to do a lot of power wiring and all kinds of crap. But the white light it makes, well, I have a spectrometer. It doesn't even register as white light. It just says no white light here. So then you can get RGBW. You can get SK6812 in 5 volt or 12 volt RGB SK6812, yeah, in RGBW, and that's better. The WLED is better, but it's still low quality white light. So the only way to get good, decent LED strips is to go to analog LED strips, so where you can control the whole strip at once, so no per pixel addressable. But to be honest, for in a kitchen, do you really need effects and patterns? I guess it's cool, but how often are you going to use that? So I have a section on my website dedicated to high CRI analog LED strips, and those would be excellent for any use, and also for in the kitchens or workshop and stuff like that, which will give you accurate white light with good color rendering and stuff like that.
There you go.
So yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's a great answer. Great answer. All right. For parties. I would,
Oh yeah.
My wife is pretty tolerant, but the kitchen is one place that I don't try to experiment too much with colored lighting and craziness, because, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess up the wife's space. Not that the kitchen has to be the wife's space. I'm just saying. This is Carlo just shared this. This is what he put for his background of his WLED control panel. How about that? He's got the Uno as the background.
Cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
All right. I'm a smart man. WAF, wife acceptance factor. That's right.
Yes. Very important.
That's right. Okay. No-go area. So, well, awesome. We're past our 2 hours. We could keep going.
Oh, yeah.
I start to drag. I can feel my eyes getting a little bit heavy.
We can do some more later and another time. 2 hours is good, I think.
Yeah, it's good. And I think we did a great thing. I mean, we had super good. You know what? Do I still have? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Maybe he hung up. Scott, thanks for calling in. I guess you hung up. I'm sorry. I didn't even say goodbye. Sorry. He comes on and saves the day, and then we ignore him and he hangs up. Sorry, Scott. Hey, thanks for your work. And I'm sure there's some way to donate to X-Lights as well. To help that development for the people that go put their time into doing that. It's so interesting how when somebody says you have to pay for something, like you have a tax or something you have to do, we all feel a little bit less generous than when it's like, hey, here's my thing, it's free, you're welcome to use it. Then I feel like, well, I'll give you a bunch. I'll give you more than I would if you were asking me to pay. So
yeah,
it's a good community. It's this whole open source thing is awesome. So we got X-Lights going. We got Air Cookie here. Thanks, Air Cookie, for your work on WLED. I love the way that he has really, and he's really brought together a community of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
A year ago, I don't know how much he had other people involved, and not that he didn't want to, but just because it was new. And now and I know he's got some regular scheduled kind of meetings where a lot of the people that do a lot of it get together and talk about what they're going to do. And there's a roadmap for when you're going to have different features. And it's just fantastic. So cheers. Great work. Love it. And of course, Quindor, the time that you've put into making these boards and the time that you've put into becoming an LED master is vital to the community as well. So thanks for that. And thanks for being here.
I'm glad to help out. So, yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right. Should we call the kids up for sign off? I think we should.
Yes.
Let's see if it works. It should work. And thanks for everybody, all the mods and people in the chat too, for helping each other and for posting links and doing all those things too. It's a great day. Great to be back. Great to be back. What's up next? Something on
you need to stream doc. I get it. It's hard. I mean,
I want to more. I definitely want to more.
Work.
I definitely want to more. I have 3 or 4 things. I want to stream about the shades I did. I want to stream about I want to stream about my soldering iron. Did you guys see my soldering iron post? Oh, it's awesome. Anyways, it's just this TS100, but I got the little logo, it's so cool. So there's that.
Yeah, TS100. Nice.
Yeah, it's a great one. So anyways, we got a lot of things. All right, girls, welcome. How do you want to sign off today? Look at your sweet little matching dresses. Come here.
Well, she's not wearing her dress.
That's Quindor. Say hi, Quindor.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Look, let's see. Where do we look to say hi to him? Hi. He's over there. Hi. Okay. Don't leave us for long. I will be back next Sunday, if not sooner. If I can do sooner, I'll do sooner, but I will be back next Sunday for sure. Oops. Okay. And does anyone perhaps know why Frank's not streaming anymore? I think Frank is still on COVID parent duty for the most part. That was what he ended up having to do. I think the ninja, which is how we refer to Frank's significant other, is the ninja. I think she had to spend more time, and so he needed to be more in the child care part and stuff. So he hasn't been able to stream. But I know he's been working hard on Home Assistant. Things are going as good as ever over there. So, all right. And then we got Big Zach, who just had his wisdom teeth out. I love when he gets his head cut off by the stream back there. Okay. How should we sign off, kiddies? What do you think?
Like we got our wisdom teeth out.
Okay, we're gonna sign off like we got our wisdom teeth taken out. Okay. I think we probably have to put like some stuff in your cheeks.
I won't even have to try.
Yeah, you won't even have to try. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios.
Bye.
Okay, thanks, baby.
You can
Bye,
do it.
everybody. Quindor, thanks again for being here.
Bye.
See you next week,
Sure,
guys.
no